everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. Today let's talk about 5 life lessons for Ardara natives. Well, Ardra Nakshatra falls between 6 degrees 40 minutes to 20 degrees of Gemini Rashi, and it's ruled by Rahu and Mercury both. Now, Ardara is one of the most intense and strong nakshatra. It has great mental and physical energy to accomplish great goals. Amazingly, they can chase what they seek. But in this path, there are many distractions. See, why I'm constantly saying that there is great mental and physical energy? Because that's why this nakshatra blesses one with the Yatna Shakti, the power to make efforts, the power to go beyond the obstacles and make efforts and achieve what you seek. But this nakshatra is ruled by Mercury and Rahu. So, Mercury Rahu can give great intellect, it gives multitasking ability, better understanding of the world, great vision. But when Mercury and Rahu works on a lower vibration, it makes one indecisive, confused, gets easily manipulated by others, or he or she may manipulate and deceive other people. The very first lesson for Ardara natives is to release. What do you need to release in this life? No matter whatsoever planet you have in this nakshatra, you have something to unburden. If you look at the symbol of Ardara, it is represented by a tear falling from the eye. So you can say it's rainfall or it's someone who is crying, act of crying. What does that mean? Act of crying means releasing something. You are unburdening yourself. Just recall, whenever you cry, after that, you feel light, you feel more joyful, you feel more relaxed because you are here to unburden on a very soul level. There is a thought, there is an experience which is so unprocessed and you cannot take it. Your soul knows it cannot take it to the future. Otherwise, you may not fulfill your purpose. You may not reach to the destiny. We are here as a soul. We have to learn some lessons and then we have to reach to the final point. That is the moksha. So, your soul knows that it has to unburden itself. So, in this life, your soul chose the process of releasing, because once you release your negative energy, your unhappiness, it also makes you strong. It enhances the acceptance in life. The act of crying is releasing all that unhappiness, that fear and insecurity, and accepting your situation. So, with any placement in Ardra Nakshatra, you are here to surrender, you are here to release something. If you don't release that, you may get more problems with that issue. Suppose Saturn is in Ardra Nakshatra. If you do not release that negativity or those unsettled emotions, you may see a lot of blockage with respect to your work. You may not, comfortably work with the society. There might be a lot of conflicts. If moon is in Ardra Nakshatra, you have to release. From time to time, you need to get rid of your difficult emotions. You have to learn to be more relaxed. If you don't do that, then you won't be able to use your mind to deal with the day to day activities. You know, there are so many nakshatras who are connected to a cluster of stars. There are very few nakshatras which are represented by only one star, and Ardara is one of them. Ardara is represented by the Alpha Orionis, also known as the Betelgeuse, and this is a very special star. It's very different from others. because it is a red supergiant. What does that mean? This means this star is um, under aging process. It's about to end its journey. That's why it's red in color, because it represents a colder temperature. So there is something about this star which is now declining. The energy is declining, and in this process the star is releasing so much of energy. So in the same way, there is a part of your journey which needs to be put end to. With that thought, with that emotion, with that habit, you cannot work anymore. That needs to die. That part of your lifestyle, that part of your habit, whatever it is, which is the major obstruction in your life, it needs to die. Or that trauma you carry within, it needs to die. Otherwise, you may not enter into the next phase of life, which is more promising. Now, how can you do that releasing? How to release that negativity? Number one, take short breaks. Do not be so much into your work all the time. You need mental breaks. It's very important for you. And indulge into such works which you love doing. Anything creative, or you want to explore something, do that. So you have to use your mind in something else which gives you great joy. Secondly, accept your situation, whatever you are going through. If you stay in a denial mode, no, this is not the reality, I cannot accept it. Those denial modes may not help you much. So, accepting your situation and going beyond that, it's okay if this happened, but I'm ready to move ahead. I'm ready to release the situation, and I love myself, I love my journey, I have so much to do, so I need to constantly move ahead. So, these are the methods through which you can release all that negativity. The second life lesson is use the power of your mind. The divine has blessed you with a very great mind. And not just that, along with that power of that nerves, you also have the power of muscles, great physical and mental strength. But what happens? This Rahu Mercury impact on Ardara makes you sometimes confused. See, it's very evident you have this great intellectual ability. You have the power of thinking. You have the power of innovation. But you also have to responsibly use your mind. Ardara, though it's ruled by Mercury and Rahu, but it does carry the element of planet Saturn. This nakshatra's energy are very similar to planet Saturn. Despite of having great talents, you should responsibly take care of those talents, use them properly, and be constant. What I have noticed with Ardara people, they are always being dominated by others, especially at the work front. Despite of being so good, it's always the other person who is a creative mind at that workplace. They are taking important decisions, final decisions. So sometimes Ardra natives do get dominated by others despite of being so strong personalities, because they are not very sure about their plans, about their thoughts. They feel that whether my plan will be successful or not. So you have to use your mind. There is a difference between having intelligence and using that intelligence for a greater purpose. So the use of that power needs to be done constantly, because if you don't do that, you will be dominated by others. You have to work a lot on your mental clarity if you want success. If you want that whatever hard work you are doing, and it should pay the right result to you, it should bring the right reward for you, the right respect for you, it's important that you should have a very clear mind. because you have a placement in Ardara, and it's very sure that you carry a certain agony or some kind of frustration in your mind. Whatever your personal struggles are, your mind keeps on processing that, and it will continue to process until and unless you find answers, you find a proper solution. Because again, Adra relates to the nervous system. It's always activated like anything. It's working absolutely on a different level, different from other people. So it's so overactive that it cannot function constructively. So mental clarity is important, because when you don't have mental clarity, you may get deceived and fooled by others. And certain people who get deceived for a long extent of time, then they don't regret fooling other people as well. They completely get emotionless. That's why people say, oh, Ardara people are so aggressive, they are so brutal, and they are so unthankful for whatever you do for them, because they reach to a certain point when their mind does not try to calculate how the other person will feel, because they have been deceived such a big level. So clarity of mind is everything. If you want to proceed ahead, you have to work on that. Otherwise, no matter how much you work day and night, it might not bring that right results. Your state of mind is everything. The third lesson is be thoughtful in your relationships. As you have Ardara placement, maybe any planet, especially Moon, Sun, Ascendant, even Venus, you are someone who loves freedom, who doesn't like a lot of questions in relationships. Yes, there is a need to be loved, there is a need to be appreciated by your loved ones, your family, your partner, but there's a deep sense of attaining freedom. Like, I want to live a very independent life, and I don't like people asking questions. Where are you going? What are you doing? So there is a duality here. So I would suggest you that if you are facing a delay in the marriage, or you're not sure whether you want to be in a relationship or not, first you should decide what you want in a partnership. Are you willing to surrender in the partnership or not? Because even the Ardra natives marry early. They do witness some conflict, and this conflict happens just because they cannot give up their freedom. They cannot give up their lifestyle, their habits, just for other people. They can be very helpful. Being an Ardra native, you will do a lot for others. You will try your best to make other people comfortable, but still you cannot give up your freedom. That's the biggest issue with respect to family life, relationship, and partnerships. Ardara is this hunter who just wanders from one place to another. It's so difficult to domesticate this hunter, to live a family life. So you have to take time with respect to your relationships. Whenever you marry, whenever you choose a partner, there should be a good dialogue that, see, this is my life, I want to live like this. What are your expectations? And then only you can make your relationships more healthy. So you have to be a bit thoughtful in your relationships. Sometimes there is a need to surrender to the loved ones. And also, things can happen in a very different way as well. Sometimes you may find people who are so nice to you, you won't believe why these people are so good to me, why there's so much of love. So, Ardhara natives do get trapped in such connections where certain people try to misuse their powers, because they easily fell into such traps. Someone will come to you and they will show you all the love of this world, they will take care of you, and one day They will just do what they wanted to do. So falling into traps is also a problem with Ardara. So be thoughtful in relationship means you have to show a bit of patience. There is a lot of observation needed when you are dealing with people. The fourth lesson is explore this world. Just now only I said Ardara is the greatest wanderer, the hunter. You are not born to live trapped in a certain place. You are not born to sit in a cubicle throughout the day. You are a soul who is very much connected to nature. So, from time to time, take breaks, connect to nature, wander, go on trekking, explore a beautiful place related to nature. It could be a forest, it could be a riverside, wherever you can go. Ardara natives will find it so difficult to live in cities, the concrete jungles, and this can be very disheartening for them. So, exploration, connecting to nature, connecting to animals, this is who you are. And when you take such breaks, when you explore the world, explore the nature, you will heal in a very beautiful manner. The fifth life lesson is financial care. You have to work a lot on saving your finances. Adra natives can greatly work in their business because they have those innovative skills. Power of Mercury and Rahu. It can promise great cash flow. But the issue with respect to finances is lack of stability. Even if you earn good, there is not much money in your hands. There might be expenditures, unexpected expenditures, and also other natives have to learn how to spend your money wisely because I have seen such other natives who are not very mindful when it comes to spending their money. So you have to make a budget, you have to be very cautious. What are your priorities? Where you have to do the important expenditures. So saving money is the greatest struggle with Ardara. And once any kind of agony triggers, any kind of issue happens which blocks your mind, then again the finances go down. So, the biggest lesson for Ardara, the fifth lesson for Ardara, is to be very cautious with respect to finances. And this financial struggle is also happening because your mind cannot focus on one thing for a long time. You may change your career path a lot of times. If you're not changing the career field, maybe you are changing your you're changing your job. You're moving from one job to another job. So there is a lot of wandering, moving, instability is there. Or simply you cannot stick to one work. You don't find it interesting, so you move on to something else. So this instability, this movement happening with respect to work is also creating financial issues. So you have to work on your career path as well. Make short term goals. I think that's best for other anyone who comes to me with any placement in Gemini and they say we have a struggle with finances. I would say make short term goals. Do not go for very long term goals. Complete one thing at one time and then make another plan. So, guys, I hope this was a very useful video for you. And these were the 5 lessons for Ardara natives. See you next time. Take care of yourself. Take care. Bye.